Good morning, cadets. Wish you all happy Deepavali. May this festival of lights bring brightness in your life, joy and happiness in your life. The main important thing is good health. May this festival of lights bring best of health in all of you. In the previous video, we have learned about the electric generator. Okay, and we have learned the principle, working and structure of electric generator. The principle of electric generator is electromagnetic induction. A current is induced when a coil is rotated in strong magnetic field. That is the principle of electric generator. Okay, now we are going to learn the differences between electric motor and electric generator. Okay, before we learn the differences, what are the factors on which the electric current produced in a generator depends. You know, this is the simple structure of electric generator consisting of two strong pole pieces, north and south, right? And A, B, C, D is the coil. For our understanding, we have taken a coil of single turn, and when this ABCD coil, this is also called as armature. ABCD coil is also called as armature. The current that is induced by electromagnetic induction in this coil depends on the area of the coil. Larger the area of the coil, more is the current. So first thing is, the current that is induced depends on the area of the coil. Second thing is, the current induced depends on the strength of the magnetic field. Greater the strength of the magnetic field produced by these pole pieces, more is the electric current. Then the very important thing is the number of turns. More the number of turns, more is the current produced. So electric current produced in the generator depends on three factors. First, area of the coil. Larger the area of the coil, more is the current. Second thing, strength of the magnetic field. More the strength of the magnetic field, more is the current produced. Very important thing is number of turns. More the number of turns of the coil of the armature, more is the current. So current induced depends on area of coil, 1, number of turns of the coil, and one more important thing is, and the magnetic strength of magnetic field. Okay. These are the three factors on which the current induced depend. Number of turns, area of the coil, and strength of the magnetic field. Okay, now let us learn the differences between electric motor and electric generator. We have learned both. First, we have learned the electric motor. Electric motor is the one which converts mechanical energy, which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. This is the battery. When we close the circuit of the battery, the current flows through the brush P1 and enters through the coil ABCD along the length ABCD. So when the current enters here, the current carrying armature coil in the strong magnetic field experiences force. As a result of which, you see, we use Fleming's left hand rule. If N to S represents the magnetic field shown by the forefinger, then A to P represents the direction of current, and you see my thumb goes inwards, means AB goes down. Obviously the CD comes up. You can see here, if current in the CD arm is C to D downwards, the thumb comes up, means CD arm goes up. CD arm goes up means if this is the axis about which it is rotating, it rotates in the anti-clockwise direction. This comes up and this goes down, right? So the principle here is the current carrying coil placed in a magnetic field experiences a force, that is magnetic effect of electric current. It experiences a mechanical force. So that is the first one. So you can just write first electric motor. What is electric motor? Is the one wherein electric energy is converted into mechanical energy. Using this motion of the coil, that is mechanical energy of the coil, we run the fans. The blades of the fan rotate. We use the mixer grinder and we pump the water. Okay, so there is a conversion of electric energy into mechanical energy. And what happens here? Here it is reverse. The coil is rotated in the strong magnetic field using external agency. The armature coil ABCD is rotated using the external mechanical force, external energy. So mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. When the coil is rotated, you see an electric current is induced. Here we use Fleming's right hand rule. The coil rotates, for example, in the clockwise sense. You see, I am using right hand, Fleming's right hand rule. If this is the direction of magnetic field, forefinger, N to S, and if the central finger represents the direction of current, you see the thumb points towards you. That is, the AB arm moves up, CD arm goes down. So, yes, when the AB arm moves up and CD arm goes down, mechanical force is tending to rotate it in the clockwise sense. When the mechanical force is tending to rotate in the clockwise sense, the current induced is along A, B, C, D, that is from B2 to B1. You can see the deflection in the galvanometer towards left. So here, mechanical energy is converted into electric energy. Now you write the principle. Principle is magnetic effect of electric current. A current carrying coil experiences mechanical force in a magnetic field. So two things are required: current carrying coil and a magnetic field. It experiences a mechanical force in the magnetic field. And what is the principle here? Electromagnetic induction. In short, I am writing electromagnetic induction, EMI. EMI means what? When the coil is rotated, when the coil is a current is induced in the turns of the coil. So this is the reverse effect. Here it is a magnetic effect of electric current to produce mechanical force. Here it is coil rotated with the external mechanical force in a strong magnetic field produces a current. So this is the second difference. Third difference is to find the direction of mechanical force, we use Fleming's left hand rule. To find the direction of mechanical force, Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule is employed. Here current is induced. So to find the direction of current, Fleming's right hand rule is used. To find the direction of current, Fleming's right hand rule is used. Okay. In both the cases, mechanical force that is developed depends on the number of turns of the coil. Here the current induced depends on the number of turns of the coil. And I say mechanical force depends on the strength of the magnetic field, and the current induced depends on the strength of the magnetic field, and also depends on the area of the coil. Similarities are there. Now, here in this DC motor, split ring is used. Single ring, copper ring, is cut into two holes, and we use R1 and R2 as split rings. R1 and R2 split rings are used. Split rings are used in order to change the direction of current in the coil, so that the coil rotates always in one particular sense. In this example, the coil is rotating in the anti-clockwise sense. Okay. R and R2 split rings are used. Here, S1 and S2 slip rings are used. Two separate rings which can rotate coaxially. S1 and S2 slip rings which rotate coaxially are used in the generator. These S1 and S2, which are internally connected with the arms of this coil, are rotating about a common axis. They are rotating about a common axis, about the axis of these rings. They are rotating coaxially, and thus they help in conducting the current that is induced while the coil is rotating. And here B1 and B2 are the brushes. Here also B1 and B2 are the brushes that are being used. B1 and B2 are the carbon brushes. B1 and B2 are the graphite brushes. Actually, they are graphite brushes which will have a smooth contact. So these are the four important differences between the electric motor and the electric generator. Okay. What about the electric AC generator and DC generator? This is the electric AC generator. AC electric generator means, as we discussed earlier, after every half rotation, the direction of the current changes. The direction of the current reverses after every half rotation. Therefore, it is called as alternating current. In case of DC generator, the current remains always constant. The current never changes. Okay, that is the difference between AC generator and DC generator. In case of AC generator, two separate slip rings S1 and S2 are used, which rotate coaxially. Okay, and they conduct the alternating current. As it is rotated for every half revolution, for every half rotation. Okay, the direction of the current changes. During this half rotation, if the deflection is towards left, during the next half rotation, when CD comes over here and AB comes over the other side, the deflection in the generator will be towards right. So that's what we call it as alternating current. But in case of DC generator is a generator. It is a device which produces direct current. There again, split ring is used. Single split ring is used. Single split ring in the sense, one single ring is taken and it is cut into two halves, as it is taken over here. So their direction of current doesn't change at all. So both the rings rotate with respect to the connected arms, and the brushes which are in contact with these split rings, they conduct the current, and that current that is generated will be used for external circuit, like the circuit connected to galvanometer or circuit connected to bulb. So the DC generator generates direct current, whereas AC generator generates alternating current. Okay. So these are the differences between the electric generator and electric motor. Okay. Now, what are the advantages of AC over DC? Direct current does not change its direction at all. It will be always steady current, means constant value of current. So the current produced by battery, current produced by cells, okay, the current produced by DC generator are steady currents, constant value of current. Whereas the currents produced by AC generator and the current produced by the inverter, the moment there is a failure of power supply in the homes and in the laboratories in the school, suddenly we switch over to inverter. The inverter also provides us alternating current. Okay, so these are the sources. What is the main advantage of alternating current? Main advantage of alternating current in almost all the countries is that it is used for a very long distance transmission. Alternating current can be very conveniently used for long distance transmission without much loss of power. Whereas if we use direct current for the transmission for long distance, there is going to be huge loss. We may not get that required current to our homes. For example, Bijapur is getting the current from the thermal power station Shaktinagar, Raichur thermal power station. Raichur is about 200 or 250 kilometers from our Bijapur city. So alternating current is generated and that alternating current is transmitted through long wires with the help of transformers, through long wires, through long conducting cables with the help of transformers, so that during this transmission through such a long distance, the loss of power is minimum. Always there will be some amount of loss of power due to Joule's heating effect. You have studied I square RT. Loss of power due to Joule's heating effect is given by I square RT, where I is the current, R is the resistance. Here R is the resistance of the wire, R is the resistance of connecting wires. So naturally, when the distance is quite long, there will be huge loss of the electric power. So in case of DC, the electric power loss is very huge. Okay, whereas in case of alternating current, electric power loss due to Joule's heating effect is minimized. By using transformers, the Joule's power loss due to heating effect is minimized. This is the advantage of alternating current over direct current. And one more thing that we discussed in the previous session is that the frequency of reversing the electric current in our country is 50 Hertz. Frequency of AC is 50 Hertz. It means in every 1/100th of a second, the current reverses its direction. In every 1/100th of a second, the current reverses its direction. Means time period is 1/100th of a second. It means in 1 second, the current reverses 100 times. In 1 second, the current reverses 100 times. That is the meaning of the frequency of alternating current. For example, when the ABCD coil turns half revolution, it changes its direction. When it completes half plus half revolution, that is for one revolution, again it reverses. Means in one complete revolution, in one complete rotation, the current is changed twice, right? So in 1 second, the current changes 100 times. Therefore, frequency of alternating current in our country, in our India, is 50 Hertz. Okay, these are the important things about the alternating current. So I think you got the point. What is the meaning of alternating current? Alternating current is the current which reverses its direction periodically, after every half revolution of the armature coil. After every half revolution of the armature coil, the direction of current reverses. Okay, so it has got advantage over DC. Okay. Now we will learn about domestic electric circuits, the electric circuits that are used in our homes. Okay. As I said, we use alternating current to our homes or school building. Anywhere, we get the electric current from the electric poles, overhead electric poles, or through underground cables. When that electric current enters, before it enters into our home circuit, it is entering through main electric board, main electricity meter board. The main electricity meter board consists of a main fuse, and the current that we use in our country is of 220 volt alternating current with 50 Hertz frequency. 50 Hertz frequency. This is the current that is supplied to our home supply, home appliances, for all our home needs in our country. When it enters through the main electricity meter board. This is the electricity meter board, and here you have a fuse, electric fuse. Basically, whether it is through ground cable or underground cable or through overhead electric poles, there are three wires. Mainly there are three wires. To identify them, one wire is green insulation. One wire, all are having good connectivity, copper wires will be, but they will be insulated wires. And one is having green insulation wire, insulated with green plastic, okay, and that is called earth wire. Another one is red wire, which is the copper wire insulated with red cover, and that is live wire, which carries the current. And one more is black insulated wire, the copper wire with black insulation. It is called neutral. So there are basically three wires. One is earth wire, green insulated, live wire, red insulated, black wire, black insulated, that is neutral wire. Earth wire, live wire and neutral wire. Live wire is the one which carries the electric current and is first connected to main fuse, and then it is connected to electricity meter, and then it is connected to distribution board, main switch on off board. So from this distribution board, it is connected into our different electric circuit boards in our home, main distribution to electric circuit boards, such as we are having, for example, tube light circuit, fan circuit, bulb circuit, okay. These are all for our ordinary needs such as lighting and needs of the electric fans. There are actually two circuits in our home. One is the circuit which carries a high current. Circuit is having high current, that is of 15 amperes. Two types of circuits. Two circuits are used in our home. One is the circuit with 15 ampere current. The circuit with 15 ampere current is actually used for electric geysers, electric iron, refrigerator, washing machines and so on, where it requires large amount of current. Okay, that is a separate circuit having 15 ampere of current. It is used for electric geyser, iron, toasters, refrigerator, washing machines, and the kitchen we have electric oven and mixer, grinder. Electric oven and all. So that is having 15 ampere of current, that is separate circuit. The electric fuse which can withstand 15 ampere is connected for this circuit. And the second one is having 5 ampere current. 5 ampere current line. 5 ampere current line is used for electric bulbs, tube lights and fans, which doesn't require much of current. So this is the second type of circuit. So both the circuits will be there in the home, in our home. So that is what we call as domestic electric circuits. Okay. Now through the main live wire the current enters, and it enters through main fuse, and then it is entering through our electric meter. And you see, this is the main distribution board which will be having main switch and fuses. It will be having main switch and fuses. From here it is distributed for different circuits. You see, we are having always parallel circuit. So this is the red insulated wire, that is live wire, connected to 3-pin plugs. 3-pin socket, you must have seen 3-pin socket. 3-pin socket. One is having live wire connection, that is red. Another one is black wire connection, that is neutral. And one more is very important, that is green wire connection, that is on the top, that is called earth wire. Okay, all the three will be there. So one parallel circuit will be for one tube light, it will be for a fan, and the third one may be for another bulb. So like this, these circuits will be always used in parallel, so that for each circuit the potential difference that is supplied is always same, 220 volts. So parallel combination is used in the home circuitry, in the domestic circuitry, so that always every appliance will get same potential difference. That's why parallel combination is there, and every circuit will be having switch on and off switch, so that if I am using one particular circuit like tube light, I can switch on and off separately for that tube light. Only one particular tube light will be in the circuit. That's how every tube light, every fan, every bulb will be having separate circuit with a switch on and off. Okay. Now there are two things to be observed here. One is the earth wire. What is the use of earth wire? This is very, very important. The earth wire that is used with green insulation, it is a very good thick conducting wire. This is actually taken outside the home and buried deep inside the ground with a good metallic plate. It is buried deep inside the earth, that is ground. It is also called as grounding. And here it is connected to the upper pin of 3-pin sockets, upper pin, right? In all these, what happens is, when we are using electric iron, okay, or we may be using electric toaster or washing machine, refrigerator, or electric iron, toaster, geyser, these are basically having metallic bodies. Even electric fan also, table fan is also having metallic body. So sometimes if there is any leakage of current, then the metallic body will be conducting that current. In case if we touch that surface, we get severe electric shock. So to prevent that severe electric shock, earthing is done. A separate connecting wire in green insulation is connected, so that in case leakage of electric current takes place through the metallic body, that will be connected through the earth wire, and that earth wire is being a good conductor. It takes that leakage of current directly to the earth, and thus it will prevent a severe shock to the user, and we will be safe. In case earth wire is not connected, then the person who is using electric iron or any kind of these refrigerator, washing machines will be at a very great risk. If earthing wire is not functioning, if earthing wire is not there in the circuit, then the person will get severe electric shock. So for the safety purpose, earth wire is used. It's also called as grounding, right? So in case of leakage of electric current through the metal body, the earth wire conducts that excess current, and that excess current you can see here, it is shown that excess current will be suddenly taken through this connecting wire to the earth. The earth is having zero potential. Suddenly the ground conducts that current, and thus the person using the electric gadgets or electric devices such as washing machines and or refrigerator, electric iron, the person user will be safe. That is the important thing about earthing. Second thing, a very important thing is about electric fuse. We have studied about electric fuse earlier. Electric fuse is again a safety device which is having an alloy, lead and tin alloy with zinc. Lead and tin alloy with zinc having a low melting point. When there is a overloading of electric current in the circuitry takes place, then suddenly when a high amount of current is drawn from the circuit, what happens? This electric fuse, you see here also every appliance is provided with electric fuse in the board. Then this electric fuse, due to Joule's heating effect, it suddenly melts. By melting, the electric circuit becomes open. The electric circuit is broken. When the electric circuit is disconnected, then that appliance will be safe. Okay? Even for example, overloading may take place due to short circuit. The short circuit means sometimes over the period of time, insulation of these wires may be damaged. Insulation means the plastic insulation that is used in the connections may be damaged. In that case, if the live wire crosses over the neutral wire is the one which doesn't have any current. If the live wire crosses over the neutral wire directly, then huge amount of current flows. That is called short circuit. When that short circuit takes place, if the electric fuse is not used, then all the appliances which are being used in the home will be spoiled. They will be totally turned off. They will be burnt. Therefore, electric fuse is a safety fuse, a safety device which melts suddenly due to overloading or short circuit by Joule's heating effect, and the electric appliances and the user in the home will be safe. I think you have understood the domestic electric circuits used in the home. So main thing is earthing, and another one is earthing wire, another one is electric fuse wire. And what is the meaning of short circuit? Short circuit is quite common in rainy season. Even in the main supply or from the supply from the poles to our home, sometimes due to heavy wind or heavy rain, the live wire may cross over the neutral wire. Then entire circuits in the home will be totally burnt. So, to prevent the damage that can occur due to overloading or due to short circuit, electric fuse is used. The electric fuse is consisting of the alloy, special alloy such as lead and tin and zinc alloy, which will suddenly melt due to high amount of current by the process of Joule's heating effect, Joule's heating effect, I square RT. Suddenly, when the current increases, the heat will be so high, it will melt. It is having a low melting point, and thus prevents the all dangers. Okay. So these are the things that you should remember. One more thing. Sometimes in a one single board, if we are connecting number of devices in one single board, suppose in one board we are using computer connection, and another person is using electric iron, and one more person is connecting one table fan. So if more number of electrical devices are connected in one particular board, then also overloading takes place. Due to overloading, what happens? That particular circuit will be drawing more and more current. Electric iron requires more current, even the fan requires current. So when more current is drawn from single electric board, then also overloading takes place. In that case, if that board is provided with the fuse, then the devices will be safe. So that's how electric fuse wire and earthing wire, they are helping us. They are the safety measures which will prevent us from severe electric shock. Thank you. Have a nice day.